Manx Radio Podcasts, powered by Shaw.
Hello and welcome to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kiri Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. And ploughing hot on the agenda. A lot of the farmers, and I suppose a lot of them, won't be doing a lot of ploughing for their own benefit or contractual, I suppose, that take part in the ploughing matches, are they?
No, that's right. There's some young farmers that have a 9-to-5 job, and also some people actually out of Douglas that have don't even have any land. They come along and have a go.
Yeah, you were at the most recent one, which was
the Royal Marown ploughing match held up at Ballymilligan, and it was a good turnout. And I had a good chat with the president, Harold Lees, and some of it was really, really interesting. Yeah,
and it's such a If it's a nice sort of this time of year and it's a nice sort of quiet, calm day, you can get some beautiful photographs, can't you?
You certainly can. But it was a good day. It was dry, and the ground was turning over quite nicely.
Yeah, and have you done much ploughing standing behind a horse?
No, I have done no ploughing whatsoever.
Ever? Not even a tractor?
Not even a tractor. How awful. No, I certainly take my hat off to the boys that do it with the horses, and many years ago as well. It'd be a long, hard day put in behind doing that job, but no, we get contractors to do ours.
And I was talking to Tim Graham, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Manx Wildlife Trust, because they've got a couple of autumn projects underway, and one of them is doing a survey to try and work out how many of the youngsters are going out to country events, instead of maybe watching telly or phones and things like that. So that's a fabulous sort of
it'd be certainly an interesting result, won't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I think, over recent times, I think a lot of people are trying to get their kids and youngsters out. I think teenagers and be of their own mind over their own, won't they? But you're trying to get them out, and it's great that people like the government and DEFRA and the Manx Wildlife Trust are making some progress with making areas that people can go out and enjoy the countryside, because of course you'll be hearing in this programme about a new project up the north of the Isle of Man, which will be most welcomed by the people of Ramsey, just off the hairpin there, Kilbane. They've got a site there in amongst the trees where they're going to put all benches made off the trees, so instead of cutting the trees down and moving them and stuff, they're going to make little climbing apparatus and things that they can get on, and picnic areas eventually, of course, and they're having work parties there. So
there's some splendid things to do on the islands, lovely walks, and to have activities such as that, it'll be definitely welcomed.
Yeah, it's just, you only need to look at the What's On things, and What's On Guide on Manx Radio, of course, and all the things that are on the Isle of Man. It'll surprise you what outdoor activities are about that you can just pop along. You might enjoy it.
Exactly.
Enjoy Countryside.
Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
The Manx Wildlife Trust look after a lot of land here on the Isle of Man with their volunteers and their workforce, and of course a big coastal area to keep an eye on as well. Well, I went along for a chat with the Chief Executive Officer of the Manx Wildlife Trust, Tim Graham, to find out about two projects they've got underway for this autumn season, but firstly about how he's settling in the role.
Yeah, it's great. It's just been coming up to 8 months now, so settled in past my sort of probation period and things like that, so count as permanent. So yeah, still got to get the other half over at Christmas. But it's been great. Obviously the summer and the weather's helped settle in brilliantly, and then great chances to get out and about and experience the Manx countryside as well.
Well, of course, countryside obviously is a thing close to your heart. And when you were in the UK, what involvement did you have there?
Well, I've been working across a number of wildlife trusts over the last sort of 8 or 10 years. I was volunteer since I was about 16, actually, for a long time as well, wherever I've locally been. I've been involved in large-scale government pilot projects, trying to engage and educate people at the same time, integrating all of that into the sort of restoration and species recovery work, and working with landowners to not just get new wildlife there, but help give advice. If they're wanting to do something particular, how can we get the best out of making some of the farmers maybe work together in areas and things, so they can really kind of join together in a bit of a collective for wildlife and get quite a lot of additional benefits at the same time.
Are they a lot more user-friendly than they used to be?
User-friendly? Certainly have a good experience of just the motivation that they can have, really. often it's outside of maybe a business remit for them. So it's very much a lot like our staff and volunteers. It becomes a bit of a passion for them. So it can be great to see. Whatever happens, lots of people get labelled up in particular ways, and it's always nice to really get through to just the positive work that you can get done, really.
Yeah, surprisingly, because some of the people you think wouldn't get on board do, don't they, in the end?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can kind of look quite different on paper sometimes, I think. And yeah, it's just always good to get new partners, new people involved anyway, so it's quite interesting, that side of it.
So you came to the Isle of Man, little place compared to there, but I suppose the Manx Wildlife Trust has got quite a big remit to cover wildlife-wise.
Yeah, there's a lot for the Isle of Man to get stuck into. So yeah, Manx Wildlife Trust have quite a large remit. Obviously, there's the 87% of the territory jurisdiction that's marine. It's such a huge resource. Not just thinking about the wealth of wildlife there, but why people are coming to visit the Isle of Man. The landscapes, the coast, the seas. Fantastic. Obviously, as a nation as well, that's very different to how most wildlife trusts have to operate. So that's quite different. They're county level trusts usually, not countries. So a whole different game, different level of work and things as well. Identity and culture. Well, I was last in Yorkshire. They think of themselves as a separate country, so
they're just as tight as the Manx.
So. Yeah, so there's a little bit of similarity there. I think one of the great things is just, you might say it's a small island, big heart, that kind of thing, but just how easy it is to access the variety and the wealth of wildlife and spectacle to kind of get out there and see. You don't get so much crammed into many places at all, and just be able to get across and see something completely different from the uplands right down to going out and exploring something on the coast and the sea quite so easy.
When you first come here, it sort of surprised you a little bit, did it?
A little bit. I have been over before, being involved at Liverpool Uni and doing some courses at the Marine Lab in Port Erin, but still a lot to appreciate, really. And obviously it's certainly a calmer way of life. I still have to get used to, if I travel across in my car, I've got to get used to locking my car doors again.
Well, over here, of course, you've just got involved now, the Manx Wildlife Trust, with 2 autumn projects. The first of which has been a big part of the Trust's educational part of it, really, and that's, going to schools and getting involved with the youngsters of the Isle of Man.
Yeah, absolutely. There's it's an amazing bit of history, really, our long-term work with schools. So we're working with DEFRA and the Department for Education and Children as well. They part fund the role, and we get out, we get into schools, we get schools out as well, doing activities, so fitting in with the curriculum, getting the events, as well as all the work. Education seems quite formal. It's just about engaging and getting people out there, getting them inspired by nature and the stuff that's around them. So obviously over the summer, some of the famous things like the rock pooling and things that obviously Isle of Man's just spectacular for, really. So we've been doing great work there. When you think about some of the figures, quite astonishing, really. 9,000 people, over 100 events and things, working with 23 schools across the island. Don does some amazing work, so see some great results.
The survey you're conducting at the moment, you wanting to find out how many are actually enjoying the Manx countryside?
Yeah, and how they're actually doing that. Where they're getting to, what kind of things are they doing. We've seen a lot of data thrown around, lots of statements, often quite UK-centric, and I just think, well, it's going to be different on the Isle of Man. You've got access to this great countryside. It's not, 100 miles away or anything like that. So how different is it? It's good to get a picture, understand how people are using it. Maybe some of the things that are stopping them from getting out, if it's about families engaging out there, how it's changing for children. One of the things we're looking at is about screen time. And you can kind of imagine how different it might be for the youngsters now compared to previously. Everybody's just stuck walking along with looking at a phone or something. So, it can give quite an interesting picture of how things have changed, maybe. And it's a start. Hopefully it's something that we can repeat and see if it's changing, whether people are visiting different places, and just how they're engaging with the wider countryside, really.
Yeah, lots of new places with no signals would be the answer, wouldn't it? But I mean, how does the survey going about? I mean, are people asked to do it online or anything like that, or is the Manx Wildlife Trust going out and about and doing it?
At the moment, we're just doing it online. I mean, some of that's just about practicalities and things we could think of in the future, trying to get out there and getting people when they're out and about, or just shopping generally or something, getting that feedback. But at the moment, it's just online, so you can get through our website at the moment at manxwt.org.uk.
Also, something up north at last as well, that's an ongoing project.
It is one of our long-term visions, really. So we've got some great work coming over winter with some funding from Tesco's as well, which everybody can vote for at the moment. And that's the Ramsey Forest work in particular. It's the eco-active work that's going to be trying to get plantation restored more towards natural woodland, but also encourage some natural wild play, encourage the families to be able to use it, and just generally get kids active out there, really, right on the doorstep of Ramsey. Also a chance for some amazing views there of out across Ramsey and up to the north and Point of Ayre and things. It's a fantastic landscape, and that all eventually links in with the work looking at this steady pace of some woodland restoration and linking up across the landscape for Ramsey Forest as well.
People think, oh, well, it'll be just a bit of a field with a picnic table in, but 60 acres, is that right?
Yeah, so eventually, obviously, well, it's just the first phase, really, and we'll be steadily increasing and getting more funding in to keep the work going, really, and expand across that whole site. And it's going to be, a range of how people are going to be able to use it, from nature trails and things. We're basically using lots of the trees and felled timber, hopefully, for the actual play apparatus and things. So be able to have quite a wild adventure there and try and encourage sort of self-led discovery, get the kids out there inspired, and really, it's the start, maybe a bit of a gateway for them to get out to other places in the countryside as well, and just realise, that's a simple one, get the families going and active. Might be on their doorstep, they might travel in there, be able to get a good day, get out, and then visit Ramsey as well.
People can get involved with maybe being part of getting it finished and ready. I know it's a long project, but there's work parties going on at the moment, isn't there?
Andre is out there every couple of weeks. You can just check our website for when the next work party is, but that's a lot from, the conservation work. There's potentially tree planting in the future and things out in the wider landscape. Obviously, some of this is just right on the doorstep of Ramsey, so easy for anybody from the community who wants to get involved, volunteer. Often, it's a great social thing as well, always a bit of fun, and you can see some real conservation work going on the ground, really.
So, only starting out for you, really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the beginning. Great things to come, really, and just see where it goes, try and get more people engaged.
Tim Graham, the CEO of the Manx Wildlife Trust, and if you want more details on that, you can go to their website, which is manxwt.org.uk, or you can phone them on 844 32. I like the Manx Wildlife Trust because I love going into that shop even in Peel. So many plates and different ornaments with beautiful pictures of animals on, and that's just to try and trundle a bit of money to help them keep going with the workshops that they've got on.
But they're very rare, some of the animals that they look after as well, and I see them out lying nests with the binoculars trying to keep up with the birds, and there's a heck of a racket out there some weekends, and it's lovely to see, and it's nice that somebody's carrying on the tradition of keeping an eye on all the smaller things in the countryside.
Yeah, and of course the project trying to get them surveys they've got going now about finding out how many people go out, how many of the youngsters in particular go out into the country instead of sitting with phones and watching telly, which is fabulous. And of course the project that they're involved with, which Andre Doubledam is sort of in charge of at Ramsey there, and that's going to be a fabulous ongoing project with there. And you think to yourself, they've got a little work party going and they want volunteers, and eventually they've got 60 acres to play with, so
wow.
They might need a few bit more help. So of course if you want to get involved in that, just contact the trust and help them along.
Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Now that most of the crops are planted on the Isle of Man, some of the ploughmen will take a weekend off to go along and show their skills at the ploughing matches. So I went along to the Royal Marown ploughing match to see what it was all about. Harold Leese, the president of the Marown Ploughing Association. Some good ploughing here today, Harold.
Yes, there's some quite good work done here today. We're lucky to have quite a decent field this year. I think everybody's enjoying themselves.
And the sun's come out now, which will help.
The sun's come out now and we're finished.
It's typical.
Yeah.
You've been involved a very long time.
Yes, I've been ploughed first in Marown 1946 with horses and ploughed 4 or 5 years with horses, and then I ploughed with tractors right up until last year.
Goodness me. And you do much winning?
Yes, got lots of winning. lots of trophies.
Oh,
yes,
goodness
yeah.
me. So you didn't fancy a go this year then?
No, I feel all right until I start to do something, and then I'm not. Age is catching up.
No, no.
In fact, it's caught up.
But you got some good judges here today also.
Oh, I some good judges, they'll sort them out.
And a good turnout though, there's some horses and tractors.
That's right, yeah. You could have done with more entries, but the entries have dropped off this last couple of years. The vintage people were very keen and they were making up a lot of numbers, but there's a lot of them sort of dropped off, seemingly.
I see there's still some young ones involved coming through, on the horses especially, and here on this tractor here at Emma Farragher. It's hard to keep them coming, is it?
It says it's getting down to a faithful few sort of thing. Yes, it's nice to try and keep it going if you can.
Also, Harold, there's lots of different styles of ploughing, but you particularly like the Manx style of ploughing.
Yes, I've always kept the Manx style going. I've ploughed nearly on my own for some years and try and keep it going.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to look at, and it also was originally used for making hollows for the grain to fall in when it was sown by either hand in a brat or with a fiddle over the ground, and we had the Manx style left the nice hollows for the grain to fall in and just harrow it then. It was buried easily, the grain. That was the original idea for it.
And would you do it on stubble or lay?
Lay. It was done in lay.
Right.
Yeah.
You find now, though, Harold, some of these big, heavy machines and the big ploughs we got, they're digging down nearly 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah, why they are. They're very deep now. They're too deep, in my opinion, a lot of them. But anyway, I'm an old-fashioned man.
But here today, the ground's quite crumbly at Ballymilligan.
Yes, yeah. The ground has been probably barley in it year after year, and so there's no root in the ground. There used to be the grass growing in it after it was cut, but now it's sprayed to keep it clean, so there was no fibre in the ground to hold it together.
I see. So would that make it harder for the people taking part today?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we'll go down now and have a look at some of the other ploughing. Emma Farragher, the only female competitor here today.
I know, fame at last, eh?
So you've come all the way down from Andrews to do the Manx style of ploughing.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And is this something you've always done?
Yeah, I've done it now for about 9 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved?
I always wanted to have a go at it, but I didn't really have anyone who would take me. So Billy Commode and Ronnie Fairbairn took me under their wing and said, we'll give it a go and see how you get on. I don't think they expected much out of me, but I think I shocked them.
Oh, doing it for the girls.
Right.
But you
for the team.
But you've been quite successful over the years, though, and I'm assuming you've learned an awful lot in the last few years.
Oh yeah. Just so much. Like Billy was ploughing with us before he's just had a new knee. Going down the field with like 60 years of experience behind you pick up a lot.
It's a great privilege to have such experience, because some of the young farmers that do take part, they've maybe just jumped on a tractor and taught themselves, but to have that knowledge coming from many years of experience is priceless, really.
It is, yeah. There's so much to take in. So much that's totally different to ploughing nowadays. It's an art, really.
You spent most of the day doing this. Do you plough at home?
Yeah, a lot quicker.
So you won't take all day just to do your butt at home then?
No, I don't think Dad would be too pleased if I did anyway.
So what's next for you? Do you do all of the ploughing matches throughout the back end, or do you go away?
No, I've not been away, but I do try to do as many as I can.
Is it different everywhere you go, different lays, different stubble fields? Does it make a massive difference to your end product?
It's just the lay of the land, really, isn't it? Some fields you go, they're perfect, the soil's, really nice. Other times you go, like today, hitting stones everywhere, humps and hollows, can't get away from them.
Big competition though.
Oh yes, all 2 of us.
Alan, you've come a long way down from Reggaby to take part here today in Marown. How's it going for you?
It's gone reasonably well today, yeah. It's made a bit of a brock of it in the end, but up until the end it was going fairly well.
And you're on the vintage tractor today?
Yes, Yeah, it's a Massey Ferguson 35.
And a homemade plough, is it?
No, it's a ransom plough with YL bodies.
Now, it's all very technical to get it right. It's the first drive across the field. It's very important, I've been told today.
Yeah, very important to get it straight from the start, really. Because if you start crooked, then it's a hang of a job to get it straight afterwards.
And this ground here at Ballamilligan, there's been a few complaints saying it's awful crumbly.
I found it very nice, really. There's not too many stones, and there's glad of the use of the field, really. It's nice enough soil, I think.
And you're in the biggest class of the day in the vintage tractor section, so it's a good competition.
Yeah, there's a few here. There's probably be quite tight, I would think, yeah.
Well, good luck and we'll await the results. Nicola, you're here with your horses today at the Marown Ploughing. How's it gone for you?
Yeah, not too bad. Ground's not too bad. A few stones. It's a bit crumbly, but it's dry at least, so we're not covered in mud.
But it's not for the faint-hearted trying to get them two big beasts across this patch of ground.
They're not too bad. Ours are small. They're only cobs, but they do the job okay. And David handles them very well.
And they were on best behaviour today.
Yeah, Jack was a little bit bouncy early on, but he's been out of work for a few months, so he's just come back into work.
And this will be the first one of the season for you.
It is for us. There was one last week, but unfortunately we couldn't make it because we had work commitments and we were moving our horses. So.
But also, you've been away competing as well this year.
Yes, we went to the British National in York. We did okay there. I got 8th on the first day. I won a rosette for me harness, and I beat the other 2 women, so I was happy enough.
Delighted.
Yeah.
And you'll take your own horses on the ferry and away?
Yes, we did. Yeah, it was a big adventure for them as well.
Yeah. And how's the plough today? It looks like it's getting a little bit of repair work getting done here.
I've lost the point off my skimmer. I've hit a few stones and it's bent the skimmer a bit, but it'll be easy to fix for next week. I'll get David on it. He should fix it.
And do a lot of the parts homemade?
Some of mine are. The coulter's homemade. That's unique to our plough. And the point on the skimmer, David will have to make another one because parts are a little hard to find, especially for my plough. There's not many of them around.
A lot of hard work goes into getting them trained for this, though.
It's not too bad as long as you take your time and build the weight up and just have patience. You can't rush horses when you're training them to plough. You've just got to build that weight up.
It's a long day for you on your legs.
Yeah, I've been up since just past 7. We won't get home till probably about 5, 6 tonight. So I've got a few bits and pieces to do.
Well, good luck anyway with the next few rounds, Nicola. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much.
Alan Crane, you had one of the hardest jobs today as judge.
Yep, but I had 2 good helpers with me. It was Philip Cayley from Mount Baldwin and Robbie Corkish from Ballabeg, both accomplished ploughmen in the time, and we judged it together. I think we got the scores right, although the competitors won't think that.
Judges are always right, though. But what do you think of the standard here today, Alan?
Well, the standard of the plough and the other man is brilliant. It's really high. You've really got to try hard and work hard to get anywhere these days. It's really increasing. A lot of the fellas now are going away to plough. So you've got to up your game. And
does it make much difference what type of land you get given or fields to get picked for this competition?
Oh yes, if it's too stony it makes it hard. If it's too bumpy it makes the ploughing hard to do and it doesn't look right. So yeah, the nice flat fields like we've got here at Ballamilligan, it's perfect. If anybody's got a few more, I'm sure we'll be willing to come and make a muck in them.
But is a stubble field, will that be completely different to a grass field?
Oh absolutely, a lay field you can't hide nothing. Stubble field you can push a little bit of soil here and alter the plough to suit it. But in a grass, ploughing a lay, you've got to have your measurements absolutely spot on. There's only a few people that can actually do that a good job. Go from one to the other, that takes a bit of skill. And
there's also different types of ploughs and styles that are used.
Oh absolutely, we got the Manx style, which is the old traditional one where you just actually sew the corn on top of the plough and harrow it in. Then we got the world style, which are the big modern ploughs. We've got the vintage style, which are obviously the oldest ploughs, and we've got the trail ploughs, which go back to real long time.
And the judges, it's a difficult job, but what are you looking for out of each butt?
Oh, we're looking for straightness, nice level butt, nice bye, which is your start, nice clash, which is your the finish. You've got to be straight and well cleaned out, and all the stubble buried. General appearance has got to be good. You've got to have a real nice firm seed bed. And
I see some of the younger people taking part here today, especially a girl as well, Emma Farragher.
Yeah, Emma Pound, she's one of the few females that do it. We've had a few in the past, a few young farmers, girls have a go now and again. And we've got a young lad, Kieran Kane from Peel. He's at 18, I think. He's having a go, and it's nice to see them and encourage them, really.
We're missing a few of the young farmers here today with lots of other events on around the island.
Yeah, them, instead of coming ploughing, which they should put number one, they've gone quad racing. So we need to set that sorted out for next time.
Well, certainly. Well, hopefully you'll get out of the field unscathed once they give the results out.
Well, hopefully they've all gone now, so I can just sneak out myself.
That was some of the people involved organising the Royal Marown Ploughing match.
It's such a great thing for them. It's hard work, isn't it, when you're watching them? But when you see them, the sort of all chatting and having a laugh and a joke about maybe somebody who's put a tiny little kink in the ploughing and stuff. I must hit a stone there, you see. So it's nice camaraderie, isn't it? But they really enjoy it, taking part, don't they?
They do, and the horses were very well behaved, for such big animals, and very patient with the ploughman behind. But they're out with the trowels, some of them, getting all the furrows all lined up perfectly, and just before the judges came round. Take it very serious, but some of the ploughing is a fine art, especially the Manx style. I really enjoyed looking at that.
Who does the ploughing for you?
Oh, we have different contractors come in and do it. We don't do it at home ourselves, but maybe it's something we can learn, though.
No? Why would you like to be standing behind a horse for a few hours doing a few rows? Would you like to try it one day?
It'd be good to try it, but you don't realise how easy we've got it nowadays with modern tractors. Those old boys put in some tough hours behind horses years ago.
You'd have to be with the farmers. I remember when I was young, following some good ploughmen, but they wouldn't give many secrets away at all. They'd be on the last breath before they'd tell anything or even take it with them. But very good, and it's a nice sort of family that do the ploughing, isn't it? So it's really nice.
It's a good day out for everyone to enjoy.
We've got an event in your diary to mention there, Kerry, have you?
Yes, certainly. The closing date is coming close for the Prime Stock Show. It's Saturday the 12th of November, and you must get your entries into the Royal Manx at manx.net. And also there's new classes there this year, so hopefully there'll be lots of space for young breeders to bring their under 1-year-old cattle along and take them home again. So it's an opportunity for everyone to take part. And also the young handlers, there's cash prizes up for grabs, sponsored by the Manx beef producers. So if you fancy having a go at handling some of these cattle and putting them on parade, get a word with the Royal Manx Show Committee and see how the day goes.
Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
There we are, ploughing, of course, for the Royal Marown ploughing competition. Of course, was there any royalty there?
Oh, they're all royalty, those old boys. No, it was a super day out, and it was lovely to see them continuing old traditions and lots of different styles of ploughing too, and the vintage tractors. Yes,
and don't forget that if you want to get involved with them work parties or help the Manx Wildlife Trust out, just go to the website manxwt.org.uk. That's manxwt.org.uk, or you can phone them 84432. We'll be back next week with more. So from me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kerry Kermode.
We'll see you next week. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Don't sit in the slow lane. Join the fast lane right now with Shaw's all-new Superfast Plus broadband. Enjoy more bandwidth, amazing speeds and the best value on the island from just £23.95 per month. So don't be left behind. Get a piece of the high-speed action with Superfast Plus broadband from Shaw. For details, visit our stores in Douglas, Ramsey and Port Erin or click shaw.com. Love being Shaw. Terms and conditions apply.